In this video, we're going to walk through how to add a new QA entry inside of a case in Monolith. I'm in my test case here, and from here, the first thing I'm going to do is come into the Quality Assurance tab. Here we can see all of the QA reviews that we have for this particular case. I'm going to go ahead and click into one of these listed as pending. And this will bring up our QA checklist. And as you can see, as I hover over different items in the checklist, this button pops up where we can create a QA entry. So let's say I'm going through my process and I notice one of my items doesn't have a label. So for my QA process, I want to report that as a violation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this Create QA Entry button here. It's going to open up a modal where we can enter in the information about the violation. So I'm just going to put myself here as the examiner and pick an entry date. Next, we're going to select the evidence item that this affects. And we can select the issue type. I'm just going to go ahead and mark this as a violation. Next, we're going to mark is resolved as no, since this is us reporting the violation, not reporting the resolution. We'll get to that in a minute. And lastly, we can select the associated QA item. So this is just what is listed in the checklist. So I'm just going to go ahead and click all items have labels. And in this details tab, we can enter in more information about the violation. So what evidence item did I pick? An iPad. This iPad does not have a label. And then I'm going to skip these two fields for now, and I'm going to click Create QA Entry. You can see Monolith has created the entry. And where these are going to appear is in this tab up here next to the QA checklist. So if we click QA entries here, you can see, you'll be able to see in a list view every QA entry that we add and which QA item it's associated with. Something else I want to point out to you is we can also add a QA entry from this page. So let's say I've gone back and the label has now been added to that particular item, and the next time I do my QA process, I notice that it is now resolved. So what I can do is either from the checklist again, or from QA entries, I can click this new QA entry button. It's going to bring up the same modal, so we can enter in this information again. Let's say this was a couple days after I noticed the violation. This was the evidence item we were looking at. It was a violation. And now if we, since we're making another entry for the resolution of this violation, we're going to select yes to is resolved. And I'm going to add the labels as the QA item. In details, we could just put for reference so we are aware that it's the resolution of that same violation. The iPad was missing a label. And now we can enter in the resolution field, examiner added label to iPad, or whatever text you need to put for the resolution there. And then if you have any notes about this, so for example, if it was reported as a violation, but it was actually not a violation, you could add that detail in the notes here. And then we can click Create QA Entry. And now we have another QA entry for that particular item showing as resolved. And that is how to create a new QA entry inside of Monolith. Thanks for watching.